Yo, CJ.
Yo,
Gotta switch it up a little bit, you know? I'm tired of talking to Laurent, that Chelsea low life, playing in
wow,
that
that's
playing in
harsh.
that playing in that stupid FIFA Club World Cup.
Yeah, bro. Allow the tournament, bro. It's for the best teams in the world in their respective continents, all of them meeting up, for one last bout.
Mm, mm.
Funny enough, hold on. I just want to backtrack because CJ, I see what you're saying in regards to the logic behind it. Then I feel like if we're using that logic, that if you win in your respective domain, right, and
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
domain is considered the best in the world, then technically there would be no need for a FIFA World Cup. Right? Because then it's like, well, most likely it's Europe. It's the UEFA Euro that is like using. You see what I'm trying to say?
No, I see what you're trying to say, but I don't agree with it because I think internationally is more balanced than like at club level. Like so nations, like countries are more balanced. Like South America's got good sides, Africa or whatever. Um,
Burkina
the
Faso.
yeah, like internationally, I feel like our teams are more balanced than in than at the club world club level because how many of those teams at the club world cup like from other continents respective continents they would all get a lot of them would get slapped if they played in the UEFA Champions League in Europe. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them wouldn't even be able to hang.
Bro, we're talking about the Seattle Sounders from MLS.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, bro, even Inter Miami. Like, come on, man.
No, Inter Miami I don't think would even get out of a group stage in the Champions League.
No, bro.
How
Like,
did we were talking about this offline, Laurent, like how did Inter Miami get in? Did we figure
because
that
of
part
Lionel
out?
Messi.
If that's actually what it is, that'll cheese me. Because then it
Well,
just defeats the whole purpose of what we're talking about here about what the best teams in each continent. Like, what did Inter Miami win last year? I don't
I
even know. I
think
don't watch
I think
MLS.
they've won. I think they won something. I don't know what because I don't really follow MLS, but I think they did win something Messi's first year in Inter Miami, so maybe that's the reason why. Um, but yeah, some of the teams here like, and then like the other part for me is why are you bringing in like Al Hilal and like like the Saudi Pro League? Like to me, it just strikes me as to me it just strikes as a money grab. It has nothing to do about the football. It has everything to do about how much money can FIFA make. Um, and as we were talking about it off air, like I truly believe that it's going to be a disadvantage for any team that participates in this, um, because their players aren't going to have as much rest as teams that aren't in it. Um, the matches run from June 14th and they go all the way to Lauren. I believe you said July something.
July, yeah, I think July 13th, something like that.
Yeah, so we're talking about, and then the turnaround for the Premier League season would be like a month away. Um, so I think it's going to be a huge disadvantage for any of those teams playing. The likes of Inter, who have a very old squad, Bayern, they're getting up there. Chelsea, of course, they have 55 players on the active roster, so for them it doesn't matter. They can play their fifth squad, and they can even, bring in another squad. They're just, building squads out of nowhere, which I don't really understand. But um,
See,
yeah, I
in,
don't
in
know.
Inter's another one. Like, how did uh Inter Miami? Sorry, Inter Milan. They're in it. Is that right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
how did they get in? Maybe that's again a question that you guys may not know the answer to, but I'm just wondering because again, Laurent, we were talking about the president of like teams that have won the Champions League or whatever in the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years. Inter hasn't won it. They've gone to the finals. So how
I
did they
think
get in?
it might have been for their domestic achievements, I would feel. Yeah, I feel like for them it probably would have been on domestic achievements. Maybe on all the fact that they maybe were runner up was factored in. I don't know. But yeah, man, no, these are good questions.
Okay, so here's the clubs that qualified as a continental champions. Al Ahly from Egypt, Wydad, Al Hilal. I'm gonna skip those because I don't know how to pronounce them. Chelsea for winning the 2020-2021 UEFA Champions League, Madrid, 2021, 2022, 23, 24 Champions League. City, same Champions League. Monterrey from Mexico, 2021 CONCACAF Champions Cup. Seattle Sounders, 2022 CONCACAF Champions Cup. Um, Pachua from Mexico, 2024 CONCACAF Champions Cup. Palmeiras, CONMEBOL Libertadores. Same thing with Flamengo and Fluminense and Botafogo. And then clubs qualified via ranking. Bayern Munich, PSG, Inter Milan, Porto, Benfica, Dortmund, Juve, Atletico Madrid, Salzburg, Auckland City, Ulsa HDFC, ES Tunis, Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa, River Plate, and Boca Juniors. And then the host nation is Inter Miami.
Of course.
So.
Who's the representation from Brazil? Is there a Brazilian club in there?
Yeah, Brazilian squad where I said it earlier. Botafogo
That's
and
it?
Fluminense and Flamengo and
Oh,
Palmeiras.
that's Jorginho's new club, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's four teams from Brazil.
Also, Jorginho's playing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. And then, wait, where's Neymar currently?
Santos.
Santos? Ah,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Mm.
So I guess that answers our question how Inter Miami got in. And then Los Angeles FC got in because they were in a play-in. They were the play-in winner. Um, anyways, um,
I mean, it sounds like it, like, like at least for you said higher ranked, right? So,
yeah, but my question would be like, obviously we're an Arsenal like pod, but for me when I look at it, like there is it says that there is 12 for UEFA. And I know they're trying to like spread it around so that it's not all from like England, for example, but how does Salzburg have a higher UEFA ranking than Arsenal? Or like Auckland City from New Zealand? Sorry, New Zealand wouldn't count, but a Salzburg would count, you know?
mm.
Like Atletico Madrid, I fully agree. Dortmund, I fully agree. Um, Inter Milan, I agree. PSG, well, now obviously. Munich, yes. Porto, I mean, they did beat us last year. Benfica, yeah. So to me, it's just
Porto? Porto didn't beat us last year.
no, like so when we were in Europa, sorry.
So Sporting.
Oh, even
What?
worse.
Yeah.
But again, so you prove my point more so. Um, yeah. I mean, I can understand from the clubs who qualified as a continental champions because some of the clubs, like, the Egyptian club, they pretty much won every year. So those things, sure, I can understand, but the other stuff, I don't know. Um,
Yeah, I think with Salzburg it's because it's like they won their domestic league, I think back to back to back for a few years. Seems like it. But even then, like, yeah, that's my man.
interesting.
Yo, Laurent, you're showing the guns today, bro. Holy.
Yeah, the man was drinking a protein shake before you came on.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, no, that was actually oatmeal. I
Oh,
mean, with protein. Yeah, with protein. With protein. Yeah,
gotcha,
Yo,
bro.
this guy's on a real healthy thing right now.
yeah,
I rate it, bro.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
Um,
save my drinking my water till the end of the month.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You're my inspiration, bro, for while I'm in the gym. Yo, Merdad, I called around last Saturday evening. This guy was in the gym. Immediately I said, all right, I need to go to the gym now, bro. That's my Saturday night. I'm going to the gym, you know? Nice little back workout. Yeah, man, trying to get right, bro. Trying to get fit.
Read it.
Mm.
Well, welcome back. What episode are we? 26? I believe so. I think we're episode
27th.
Yeah, 26 or 27th. Yeah, I think it's
26 or
27.
27. Oh my Lord. Um, yeah. 27.
Yeah, 27.
Um, Thank you for tuning in as always. Joined by my co-host Laurent
Yes, sir.
and CJ. Um, I don't even feel comfortable by saying co-host. I think we're just hosts. I'm just the goofball that they allowed me to talk first and just make all the dumb jokes. Um, and yeah, we're out here giving you content. Obviously, we're in the off season, recording once a week. So for today's pod, we're gonna talk a little bit about some transfers that have transpired over the last couple weeks. Talk about how the 115, if you don't know who they are, Man City are spending close to $1 billion.
Jeez.
Um, Liverpool and pretty much every other top 16 making signings, and then we're crickets. We're still gonna announce Martin Zubimendi one day, and then
One day.
Wait, that's not confirmed yet?
bro, it's Arsenal, bro. Chill.
One day. I like
That's
that. That's
wild.
good.
Um, and then
Yo, that was good. That was
and
good.
then we're gonna pick our teams of the season. Team of the season for Premier League and team of the season for Champions League. Um, I will give a little hint. I went with an underrated squad. I didn't just pick the typical names that you expect. But yeah, without further ado, so some of the transfers that have happened so far, like I said, from an Arsenal lens, we've had a couple outgoings. Obviously, a lot of youngsters. Jorginho is the big name that left as well. But from an Arsenal standpoint, it's crickets. We apparently got a here we go from Fabrizio Romano with respect to Martin Zubimendi, but we still haven't seen it live. I still haven't seen him in an Arsenal jersey, and I still haven't seen it signed and sealed. So, um, to me, it's not done, and to me, I'm not happy. But yeah, I don't want to see no AI generated nonsense. I want to see Martin Zubamendi sitting next to Andre Berta and Mikel Arteta signing the thing, and then I'll believe it. We did bring in Kepa apparently, but again, haven't seen him in a jersey. We've just seen them record.
I feel like you guys
Um,
probably wouldn't want to see him in a.
Honestly, I'm actually I'm actually coming around to it, and I will explain why.
Mm,
Kepa played phenomenal for Bournemouth. And I think coming into this team, knowing that he's the number two, giving all the cup games to Kepa, who has proven himself at Chelsea and he has proven himself at Bournemouth, I think it's going to be a good option for us. And it's 5 million. You guys paid 70 odd million for him, and you're selling him for five. Like, we've spent so much money on keepers to know that we got a keeper for the next 2, 3 years for 5 million. It's an amazing investment. And you know what you're going to get from him. To me, getting him that's a known commodity versus going and spending 20, 30 mil for someone who may not we don't know what they've done in the Premier League or Champions League for that matter. Like, to me, I'm coming around to it. But again, I
you know,
still want to see him sign the thing.
I'm just saying, careful what you wish for, eh?
Why?
Because you get the good and the bad. So if you're ever in that situation where, Arteta's asking the boy to come off
Um,
and he's just flipping the finger back in the bench, at that point, you can understand where that difference in at
yeah.
65 million or so comes in.
Yeah, I don't think
Eh,
that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I wanted to give quick thoughts on that too, actually, since we're talking about it and talking about transfers. Like I am glad you said that, Murda, because I actually agree as well. Like I'm starting to come around as well. On face value, when we were first linked, obviously every Arsenal's fans' first thought is another Chelsea reject, and it just adds to the long list of Chelsea players and or ex-players or players who are past their best. Like the list is quite long. I even took a screenshot of it the other day. It's actually crazy. By this point we can build a whole starting 11 of Chelsea players that we've taken since 20 I don't know 2010 or earlier. It's actually crazy, man. Like And again, the thing that annoys us all is that it's the ones that are past their best, right? But in this case, at the end of the day, we have so much more business to do elsewhere that a £5 million signing of a backup goalkeeper is quick, shrewd business, so long as it gets done. Because, like I said, we still haven't seen anything officially confirmed because we don't officially confirm anything. Um, but yeah, that one seems all but done. If it is true, I don't mind that at all. Like, what are we doing chasing a 20 plus million pound goalkeeper in Juan Garcia, who is also tussling with Real Madrid and Barcelona? We know that's going to be a 30 mil plus signing potentially, right? And it's we already have a clear number one in David Raya. We don't need to go spend 30 mil on a backup young goalkeeper. We've spent money on goalkeepers and left backs for how long now, So if we can get a shrewd, we definitely need a backup though. That is for sure. So if we can get a shrewd, low key backup of Kepa's experience and level of experience and quality, that's more than good enough for me. He's a perfect number two, I would say. If you take the Chelsea thing aside,
Yep.
just a perfect number two, to be honest. So yeah, keep it moving, get that in, keep it moving, and put our funds elsewhere for the potential signings that we're going to talk about.
To me, I think it's also just to add on that. I think it's a smart move by Andrea Berta getting the. I don't want to say like getting a position where we just need to be quick and dirty and just get
Yeah,
it done with the least amount of funds and save the funds for the big boys that need to come in.
yeah.
So, but again, nothing's happened, nothing's confirmed, so we keep it moving. Um, some of the confirmed signings, Mateus Cunha confirmed from Wolves to Manchester United for 62.5 million. Liam Delap, 30 million from Ipswich to Chelsea.
Was that done? Confirmed? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's confirmed on the Rasta.
Yeah. Jeremy Frimpong, 29.5 from Leverkusen to Liverpool. I believe that's fully confirmed. Like, we got a here we go, but I still haven't seen him sign the papers. But with Liverpool, I can trust that they get it done.
I saw videos of him actually in the like in their facilities.
Okay, okay. So then
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
done. Liverpool also signed their goalkeeper from Valencia, Grigori Mavardashvili. Probably butchered that. For 25 to 29 mil. And then Brentford got Kelleher from Liverpool for 12 and a half. And then we come to the team who has impeding charges, 115, might I say, Manchester City. Um, since January, I think they've probably spent six. I think I was reading uh, um, a post. I think they spent like 6 to 700 million. Um, this for the Club World Cup, they've got Ryan Aït-Nouri from Wolves for 36.5 million pound. They got Ryan Cherky, who is going to be a perfect player to take over that Kevin De Bruyne role now that he's in Napoli. And then they got Reinders from AC Milan for 46.5 million. Again, to me, I just don't understand. You have 115 charges and you're spending 700 mil. How does that work? Make it make sense.
Clearly, they know they think they're gonna beat the case. They're not too concerned.
Like it just it baffles my mind. Um, but are any of out of those signings that I said, is there any that stands out to you? Is there any that you think is going to be one that you're like, damn, like that was a good signing? Not just from an Arsenal lens, just as from a neutral lens.
I think Ryan Cherky
Yeah.
or City. Yeah.
Why do you say that? You want to elaborate on it a little bit?
Just his creative ability, especially if Pep allows him to, express himself. I think he's oh man, him and then Marmoush, and then you got Holland up top as an outlet. You can even Foden on the wings there, or and the other guy Savinho, right? Yeah,
But
I'm not gonna lie, that Man City team looks very, very deadly on paper, going into
here's my
next season
concern with that.
in the front line. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
saw what Pep did to Grealish.
Mm,
Hmm.
We saw what Pep did to Titi from the Barcelona days.
mm.
Mind you, Titi got it done. Titi being Thierry. Um, but That's my only concern with that one because Pep is very like structured, like
Mm,
Arteta, that like you have your role, you need to do this, you have to be here, you have to be there. That's my only worry. Whereas when he was in Leon, it was like go have fun, go do whatever
right.
you want. Same thing with Grealish at Villa. You did not want to face Grealish when he was at Villa.
Mm,
He would pop up in places you're like, why are you here? And then somehow he would figure out a way and he would score. So that's my only worry with that one. CJ, what about you? What about for you? Who out of those names, who do you think is going to be an underrated signing?
Um,
Don't steal mine.
I have no idea what you're gonna say to be honest, but I wanted to touch on this for two reasons.
Uh-oh.
This one is for me Mateus Cunha.
Oh, okay, thank God.
Yeah. No. I wanted to talk about Cunha because I think that that's a good signing for any club because Cunha needs to make the next step and go to I say big six club. United hasn't been moving like a big six club lately, but um, it's a
Moving like a
win-win.
relegation club.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's a win-win in the sense that yeah, like Cunha makes that step up to a big club that he deserves because he respectfully to Wolves, he's a lot better than that Wolves side for his level. And it's a win for United because they just need more quality players because Bruno, in my
Mhm.
opinion, is their only real like world class caliber player. But the interesting thing for me is why United have made a lot of signings over the years that they made signings that are big names just to maybe appease the fans or just to kind of show some level of ambition. It's like, oh, we signed a big player, whether it was Paul Pogba or whether it was Radamel Falcao or whether it was Di Maria, signing big players just to sign big players, but there's no like sense or structure to them. And this is why for the many criticisms I have of Arteta and what we're doing lately, we make signings that do make sense. Like you can see the vision and you can see how
Mhm.
Arteta wants to slot them into the system. I'm not sure how United is going to play Cunha with Bruno Fernandes there. I kind of see that clashing a little bit. I mean, Bruno Fernandes can maybe play a little bit deeper, and Cunha can kind of play in the 10 role. But I felt like traditionally Bruno has always been playing sort of the advanced midfield number 10 role, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I think where Cunha would play. Cunha, one thing that he was worked in his favor playing for Wolves was that he had the freedom to roam where he wanted, essentially, because he was head and shoulders the best player on that team, right? So he had sort
Yeah.
of that Messi role type freedom where, yes, on paper you're positionally here, but you can pop up anywhere you want all over the pitch. I don't
Mhm.
know how he'll be able to do that at United. Again, especially with a player like Cunha too. Like he kind of wants to be the star man, but again, Bruno, for as long as he stays, he's not going to allow that. Bruno's the captain. He's very much the main man there. So what spaces is Bruno going to occupy that Cunha might want to occupy? I can see them, potentially getting in each other's way, sort of like a Vinny and Mbappe thing.
Mhm.
Um, who knows? We'll see. But in isolation, Acuna is a good signing. But how does he fit the system? It's going to be interesting to see, especially because they still want a striker. So you could put him in the number 9 position, but if they do get another striker, because they're linked to like the Gyökereses of the world and so on, then that makes that situation even more sticky. I can't. He's not an out and out winger either, Cunha. So you can't really stick him on the right or the left. I mean, he could do a job there, but I feel like he more affects like the central areas.
He's a false nine, like a center forward type.
Something like that. Yeah.
For me at least. And when they play the 3-4-3, um, yeah, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird. But yeah, I agree, totally agree with you. I think he's gonna bring that spice and that jazz back to Old Trafford, where they thought Anthony was gonna be that to bring that, the United spiciness, but he was just doing twirlies and ballerinas, and hopefully Cunha isn't that for them. Um, for me, it's Kelleher. I think it was a brilliant signing by Brentford. They lost Flecken and they brought in Kelleher right away. And I think Kelleher is going to be amazing for them. I think for their aspirations of next year, potentially making the Conference League, albeit they did lose Thomas Frank to Spurs. I do think that they're going to go after a top coach. Brentford is a well-run organization and they know what they're doing. So I think that's a very underrated signing. I think Kelleher is gonna turn some heads next year, and I think he might be in the race for the Golden Glove if Brentford if Brentford do things right. They almost move like a Brighton. They move out Caicedo, they move out McAllister, and their midfield still doesn't really miss a beat. Um, So to me, Kelleher was a very, very underrated signing, and I think he's going to turn some heads. Um, yeah, I mean, the one thing I can say, Arsenal, Berta, get the shit done. Like, get the shit done. We talked about it last pod. I think we've talked about it, many, many times for me, and I think CJ agrees with me. Um, get in Rodrigo, and whoever you get for striker, no one's gonna bat an eye. If we get an Ollie Watkins and we're going into the season with a Rodrigo Martinelli at the right, you got Havertz, Watkins down the middle, you got Jesus, Trossard, and Saka on the right, no one's gonna bat an eye. But if you don't get that world-class player or like a Rafa Leao, um, there's gonna be head hunting. Like, if Liverpool pull off Florian Wirtz and they're going after Ekatike, like,
Oof,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's a good combo.
yeah.
Yeah, very good combo.
And then you
Yo,
got Salah there as well,
kept Van Dyke. Yeah, they're moving serious, Liverpool, man. They are. They're moving
So they
serious.
just got Jeremy Frimpong. They got Kirkez. You know what I mean? So it's like y- you need to move. You need to show if sure you got Gabriel Magalhaes to re-sign his contract till 2029. However, the big boys are coming. Saka, Saliba, Odegaard's almost there, right? You have to show them ambition. And right now, put it to rest. If you're really concerned about FFP and you're concerned about funds and stuff, just fucking get in Shesko. If you think that long term he's going to be the better bet and you genuinely trust Havertz, in my opinion, I think Havertz can do a job, then just fucking get him in and then focus on the winger. But don't do this back and forth. Oh, is it Gyökeres? Is it Sesko? And then United now want to go get Gyökeres because he said he doesn't really care about Champions League and yada yada yada. Like, just fucking sign someone. Like this back and forth nonsense, we do it every single year. Everyone tunes into AFTV daily transfer window, and we talk about all these players that we're linked to. And this is not a shot at AFTV, but like half the people that they say we're linked to, we're not. We're not. Maybe one of them is right. Just sign someone, man. Like, why is it that every single year we just have to sit here twiddling our thumbs? Just sign someone. Fuck, man. I don't know if you echo what I'm saying, CJ, but it just gets frustrating, man. Every transfer window, we're linked to everyone and their mother, and then by the end of it, we end up with a player like Sterling or Neto. Like, really, that was your plan C?
Yeah, it feels like a lot of other clubs, they'll be linked with a player on Monday, and by Friday, that player is holding up the shirt. Whereas us, we got the here we go on Zubimendi in January. I've now been able to do a whole wardrobe change. It's now summer, and he's still not holding up the shirt. Like, the fuck is going on?
Fuck. Yeah.
This striker bidding war too, like I'm sure you guys have been hearing too, like the whole back and forth with Gyökeres and Sesko, like there's a whole thing going on right now with that. It's actually insane. And honestly, on all sides too, like there's drama not just with us, but like the clubs,
Mm-hmm.
like Leipzig is kind of holding out for a certain allocation of funds for
Yeah.
Sesko, which is worrying Sesko because he's thinking now, clubs like Arsenal, if he's being priced out of a move, the big clubs, and like, especially in Arsenal's case, are not going to pay ridiculous money just to get him in. We'll turn our attention elsewhere to like a Gyökeres or something. But on the other hand, on Gyökeres' side, I'm not sure if you've been hearing this today as well, but there's a whole beef between Gyökeres and his agent versus the president of Sporting, because the whole gentleman's agreement thing, and gentleman's agreement for me never works in football or any walk of life really. Like what is a gentleman's agreement? A shake of a hand? Yeah, I promise you can leave for this amount of money. But when the time comes, obviously the president, which is what he's doing now, is saying I never agreed that he can leave for 60 mil. you know there's nothing in writing, there's nothing confirmed that that states that. So it's easy for the president to come out and say, nope, I never agreed to that. I don't know what his agent is talking about, and now there was even talks about Gyökeres threatening to go on strike, not turning up for preseason because he's pissed off that the president is now maybe pressing him out of his dream move.
Mhm.
So it's all kinds of drama at the moment. But listen, at the end of the day, I don't really care about what the drama that's going on between the respective strikers and their own clubs. As long as we get one of these strikers in, like if we lose out on all our targets by waiting too long, you know what I'm saying, and then we end up empty-handed, we can sit there and play the game. And I understand Berta. Apparently, the way he likes to do business is he likes to, have a little bit of an idea of all his targets. So he'll have like 3, 4 strikers that he's looking at the same time, get an idea of how much it's going to cost, what the breakdown is, this and that, and then make a decision. But the longer we keep holding out without putting, all our eggs in a priority basket, we may potentially lose out on all our targets because, like we're saying, United is now coming in for Gyökeres. We've seen Saudi try to come in for Sesko, and I think Sesko has turned that down. But the longer we loafed and not make a decision, other clubs are going to come in for our targets and then swoop them from underneath us.
Mhm.
Gotta move fast. You gotta move fast.
Yeah. Um, let's change gears to something that's gonna, maybe cheer up some listeners. Let's start off with the Premier League team of the season. Um, I don't know if you fellas have your teams ready. But if you do, someone can start. S- State your lineup, state your manager, and then state the players
Wait,
you'd
we
like
have to
to.
state the lineup? I never seen that.
What do you mean? Like the formation? Like who's in your
Oh,
team of the season?
oh, okay, I see what you're saying. All right, right.
What else did you think team of the season
Yeah,
was?
yeah. What did you think I was saying?
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were just like who you like just picking a team and you're think right, like that's the team of the season, like your best team, right? But you're saying like the starting 11, like,
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay,
The-
okay. And no, I didn't understand it that way. So I'm gonna be like I have my teams, but I do not have my starting 11. So it's like my homework
Okay,
is
so then you
incomplete.
you can go last. You can
My
go last so
homework
you
isn't
get time
complete.
to, yeah, you can
Uh,
go last so you get that extension.
mm.
CJ, you want me to start or you want to go first?
No, it doesn't matter. I can quickly run through what I think is a good 11 for the
Sure.
season. Yeah, in goal for me, these are always fun. Like I enjoy actually doing these, just after a long season. I think this is like the lighthearted side of things. Um, and yeah, it would be interesting to see how ours stack up against each other's. But for me, yeah, like in goal, it would have been between Matz Sels and David Raya, both who were in competition for the Golden Glove in net. Um, but this is an Arsenal pod. I'm biased, so I'm gonna give it to David Raya. Sells had a great season, but I gotta give it to our guy. Um, so yeah, I think David Raya goes in goal for me. Um, left back, left back is a tough one. But I think I'm gonna go with. I might err on the side of bias again. I'm gonna go Miles Lewis Skelly.
Wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's
yeah,
fucked.
Wow.
That's
yeah.
actually wild, bro.
I have to, man. I have
Huh?
to. You know
You
what?
you, you can't
You
find a
actually,
better left back
you
in
know
the
what?
league
Okay,
than
okay,
come on, man.
okay. You know what? Let me change that. Let me change it. I'm gonna give it to that fucking guy, Mark Cucurella. I'll give it to him.
Ah, let's go.
Ay.
Yeah, I'll
Let's
give it to him.
go.
Cucurella.
I'll
Okay.
give it to him.
Oh.
This guy's doing some Triple H celebration, bro. What the
Ah.
fuck?
Now I'm just trying to pretend like I have long hair, you know what I mean? And like for those at home who can't see this, right? Men's have a shorter haircut, right? That guy's using Head and Shoulder shampoos, bro, day in, day out. And yeah,
Pantene Pro V.
yeah, yeah.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
No, that's fucking jokes, man. Yeah, no, he deserves it. He does deserve it. He's been a good left back for this season for sure. My center backs, um, yeah, I got to give it to Big Verge. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk. He goes in there. I think that's a no-brainer. Um, alongside him is a tough one. Alongside him is a tough one. I think I'm gonna have to again. They'll give it to one of our guys. I'm gonna give it to Gabriel, man. I think Gabriel's been quality.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, I think he's been quality, and it's so such a shame that he got injured towards the end. But it's a big threat in both boxes, goal scoring center back. I can't wait to have the guy back next season. We've really missed him. Just his presence. I know Kivior has stepped in and done a job, but just Gabriel's overall presence, like he's a leader on the pitch, man. That guy is fearless. So yeah, I'm gonna stick Gabriel beside Van Dyke. Right back. Right back's a tough one too. Um, right back. I think I'm gonna go with mm, I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna have to go with our guy again still. I'm gonna have to go with Yuri and Timber.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. This one I'm not changing. I'm sorry. I have to stick with this one. Yuri and Timber, man. Bro, our back line has been like the best part of our team. I bet some of the best in the league, man. So we get a lot of guys in that back line. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Timber, man. He stays. He's been a wicked left back. Oh, sorry, right back all season. Midfield now. Geez, midfield. Okay, so I'm
So
gonna
you're going
say
with like a 4-3-3?
sorry, 4-3-3, my formation.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Midfield, just quickly. Um I think especially in the number 6 position, I think Gravenberch has to be in there. He's been transformed this season under Mr. Arnie Slot. So Gravenberch is my CDM. I think that goes without saying. He's been quality in that position. Um, Looking further ahead, sort of in that position beside him. You know what? It could be and like I said, this going forward, this is where none of our guys are really going to get a look in, to be honest, because going forward we've been kind of shambolic. Our midfield has been okay, to be fair, so we could technically get some guys in midfield, but I still think there's been better midfielders across the league than our guys. The one who I think would have a shoe in would be Partey, maybe even Rice as well, actually. But no, I think if I have to give it up to somebody to go alongside Gravenberch, I think I'm gonna have to go another Liverpool guy. I think McAllister, who's been crucial in helping them win the league. McAllister's had a brilliant season. He's actually a brilliant player. Um, so good signing. He's been for Liverpool, and I think he goes in there in midfield.
He's
Then-
Caicedo doesn't get a look?
no, no,
No.
no, no, no.
Damn.
There's so many other players that I would say before Caicedo.
Yeah,
Really? All right, all
Yes.
right. All
yeah.
right.
Looking further ahead. I'm gonna say to complete that midfield three and sort of like a more attacking, creative midfield. This one might be a little bit controversial, to be honest. Yeah, this one could be a little bit controversial, but I'm gonna go personally with Gibbs White from Forest. For
That's not
me,
controversial. No.
yeah, for me, honestly, bro, for me, because he's had a really good season, Gibbs White. But I think for me, I think it would have been between Gibbs White and Morgan Rogers, to be honest. Morgan Rogers has been really good in midfield, so he gets like an honorable mention. But um, no, I think his White. I've been really impressed with him and his season. Yeah, really good player as well. And I think even City was looking at him. He's flirting with an England squad selection spot for maybe even the World Cup. So yeah, really good quality player. And then my front three. Again, this one may be more on bias than actual fact, because I just love this player. But I'm putting Isak as my center forward, Alexander Isak. You could give it to a Holland or like I don't know,
No,
but
not Holland this year. No way.
yeah,
No way.
yeah, no, I'm giving it to Isak, man. The boy Isak wears 14 on his back. He knows Wagwan.
Wait, why are
You
you
know,
saying not Holland this year? I'm curious. Like,
No. No. I would give it to Chris Wood over Holland this year. I'd give it to João Pedro. I would give it to
really, João Pedro.
Evan. Yeah, bro. João
He still
Pedro.
got he still got his 20 goals a season, and we would love a 20 goal a season striker. So for
Yeah,
his
yeah.
for his high standards, he still got over 20 goals.
Oh, yeah, from that aspect, yeah. But if I'm talking about like an impact that they had on a team, like when you talk about Holland, you're like, okay, you're gonna bang 20 goals. But if you're talking about an impact that a player had on their team, like Isak carried Newcastle to a top
mm,
four. João Pedro carried Brighton to get into a European spot. You know what I mean? Like you could even give an argument to Johan Wissa, you know? Like the top guys, like they just because they have the most publicity, they're the ones that are gonna be, shouted out. Like Chris Wood was balling. Chris Wood was balling, right?
Yeah.
Like, those things. Like, yeah, I don't know. For me, like even like a Liam Delap, how hot he started the season when he was banging in goals. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. For me, I don't. I wouldn't give it to Holland.
Yeah, no, neither would I. That's why, like I said, I'm gonna stick with Isak. Yeah, I think that one goes without saying. Yeah, one of the best. Just his overall performances. He has more to his game than Holland. I stand on that. He's not just like a penalty box tap in merchant striker. I mean, he can create his own. He can, do like you said. He some of the goals that he's scored, he's twisted up some of the best defenders in this league, including our center backs, Saliba and Gabriel. He's twisted up Van Dijk. How many people can say that? So Isaac is just, yeah, he's next level, man. Um, yeah, no, so I'm gonna stick with Isaac. On the right wing, geez, also goes without saying, Mr. Mo Salah. Um, yeah, there's not much more to be said. That's just his slot every day of the week. Um, no pun intended with the slot. On the left wing, um, there's a couple contenders here. It's funny, like I just finished saying like Cunha for me is not a winger, but he deserves to be like if I'm talking about a front three for some of the best forwards in the league this season. Cunha, yeah, man, Cunha could easily go in there. To be honest with you, I think. But for the sake of me being consistent and saying he's not a left winger, I can't stick him in there. So I'm gonna stick with. I have two players in mind. Yeah, I have two players in mind, and then I'll kind of explain why, and then I'll narrow it down. So for me, okay, it would be either Anthony Gordon
Ooh.
or it would be Eberechi Eze. Again, not maybe an out and out left winger, but he can play on the left and does play on the left there sometimes.
Hmm.
And I'm also thinking maybe like I know we said Premier League team of the season, but I'm also factoring in like the domestic English campaign as a whole, and obviously as pretty much helped them win that FA Cup. So
Hmm.
another player any big club would love to have. So those are my two. But if I have to choose one, again, just for the sake of having an out and out left winger, Anthony Gordon has been balling all season long. Also alongside Isak has helped them get into the top four, um, or top five actually, top five for them. Again, two players, they're fifth place, right? We're supposed to be mighty Arsenal challenging for a title, and two of their three forwards start in our team in this current team. Gordon starts on our left wing easily over Martinelli and Trossard, and
Easily.
and Isak starts up top. So yeah, yeah, that's my team. So again, running back from 1 to 11,
And who's
David.
who's your coach? Who's your manager?
Oh yeah, it's got to be Arne Slot. I have to.
Arne.
Yeah, yeah. First year in the league, man.
That's crazy. I
Um,
thought he was overrated.
Listen, man. First year in the league. Coming from foreign league. I know we've had our fucking manager who's been here for however long, half a decade now, and still hasn't won the leagues. And Slot's come in first year and done the thing. It has to be him. I don't think really there's anybody else to say, man. No, man. Honestly, like the guy hasn't been in the league before. He's
No, no,
won
no. I know,
the
I know.
league.
I'm just saying, like, you'll be shocked at who I have.
Yeah.
You'll be shocked who I have. But yes, no, you're
But
right.
yeah.
You're right.
No, no. So yeah, quickly just running it back 1 to 11. David Raya in goal. Center backs Van Dijk and Gabriel. Right back Timber. Left back Cucurella. My midfield three was Gravenberch in the six. McAllister number eight. And I think yeah, it gives White just over Morgan Rogers in the number 10 sort of position as an attacking midfielder. Um, And my front three, Mo Salah on the right, Isaac center forward, and on the left, Anthony Gordon for me. And yeah, that was my team. And then Arne Slot manager.
All right. There's gonna be some players that are overlapped with both of us. So my squad, I went 4-3-3. You said it perfectly. It's between Matz Sels and David Raya, and just for the sake of not being biased, I actually did go with Matz Sels. I think with Arsenal and David Raya, like it's expected, some of the saves that he made, but I think with Matz Sels, like I did not see that coming. 120 saves, 13 clean sheets. He helped Forest get to where they are. They came up a little short, but you know, I think he had an unreal season. Right back, this player has developed so much at his current roster. He was born in England, but he plays for the United States. Antoine Robinson from Fulham.
Do you say left
Sorry,
back?
Anthony. Yeah, Anthony, right back. Yeah,
Robinson, Anthony Robinson.
yeah.
He's left back.
I'm gonna put him in right back though.
Oh, oh, wow. This guy's doing a whole inverted thing. Jeez.
Yeah. Um, I'm, I told you I'm going with. I'm telling you, man. It's my lineup, my team of the
I'm gonna put
season.
him in right back though.
I know, bro. The
So
way you said it, like my bad.
yeah, like
Bro, let's just allow it.
yo, how
Uh,
dare you question my tactics?
Yeah, yeah, for
bro,
real.
just allow it. Just allow it.
Yo, Arteta 2.0, fam.
Bro,
For
exactly.
real?
Just allow it. Um,
Oh,
center
joke.
back, center back duo. I'm gonna go with Gabriel Magalhaes and the 6'8" Dan Burn had an unreal.
What? Over Verge? That's
Oh, bro,
crazy.
I'm telling you, I'm not going with the household names.
All right, all right.
Dan Burn getting his first call up to England's roster, like that's huge. He's in the end of his career and you get called up. Like I don't want to just go with the household names. And then left back, Kirkes from Bournemouth, who he's actually at Liverpool now. Um, but I think, he had an unreal season and he held it down for them. Midfield trio, I have Ryan Gravenberch for the same exact reasons that you said, CJ. Um, Morgan Rogers, because I think
Mm.
he developed under Unai amazing. He had a breakout season, and Arsenal are taking a look at him for obvious reasons. He came through the city academy, and I think he helped Villa, make that run in the FA Cup, the Champions League, and they almost did it. They almost did it against PSG. And then for my other 8 position, I got Eberechi Eze for obvious reasons. Just an unreal season. Like you thought that there was going to be a huge fall off after Michael Elise left, but he just stepped up and he's like, you know what? Not a problem. Let me do it. I will take control of this, and he did. He absolutely did, and he did the thing, and he like you said, he single handedly helped Crystal Palace win the FA Cup and get them into Europa League. Front three, again, there's going to be a lot of overlap. Alexander Isak as my center forward, Mohamed Salah for obvious reasons, the right wing, and my left wing. Semenyo from Bournemouth.
Jeez.
Crazy season. He can play all across the front three. Um, no one would have thought Semenyo would have been that good. And, Bournemouth had our number this year. And they had the number of a lot of teams. Um, and just the way that he played as well, right? He's a physical winger. He's willing to kind of have his back to goal. He's willing to run you down. He's willing to, get physical with you, switch wings, play down the middle. For me, he's an all-around winger and he's proven it in the Premier League. So for me, it definitely has to be Semenyo. And then for my coach,
Oh my gosh.
why are you nervous, bro? Let me give you a hint. Let me give you a hint. So this coach, he was appointed last June. Um, he is the
Is it Nuno?
youngest.
Oh,
What?
okay. I thought you
No,
were gonna say Nuno.
he is the youngest Premier League manager ever.
The youngest Premier League manager ever?
Yes.
Ever. Is it the Palace? Is it no the Palace? Is it the Palace coach?
Nope. He's our age, and he's coaching a Premier League team.
What the
He's gonna
fuck?
be.
Guy
He's
could
gonna
still be
be.
playing at that point.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Was he a player? Or I assume he was not.
I Yeah, he was a former player. Yes,
Hold
yes.
on, give me. Like, I want at least two more guesses on this. A Premier League manager. Bournemouth manager? No,
No, and Ariola, no.
no, yeah, no, it's not him. What the fuck? Brighton? Who's Brighton's coach? That's the guy, right?
Fabian Hertzler, 31 years old.
This guy loves
He is
Brighton.
my manager. What do you mean? You have to give credit where there's credit's due. Yes, I could go with the obvious choices. I could go with Eddie Howe. I could go with Arne Slot. I could go with Unai Emery. I could go with Nuno. But like Fabian Hertzler, 31 years old. I swear to God, but if I'm not mistaken, Danny Welbeck is older than him. Danny Welbeck has more Premier League experience than Hertzler.
That's fucking jokes.
And to be able to come into the league and be able to have control of that locker room to be like, you know what? You guys are gonna play for me. You guys are gonna play for the name on the front, not on the back. At 31 years old, bro, like what are you doing at 31? We're fucking recording a podcast. This man is a Premier League coach.
Yeah,
He's gonna
hold on.
be
Where did Brighton
playing.
finish? Let me see. Where did Brighton finish?
Brian finished eighth.
That's pretty good.
Like they're
All
gonna
right,
be in
all right.
conference league. You have to respect it.
I respect it. I
You know
respect
what I
it.
mean? Sorry, are they no? Are they not in Europa? Yeah, they're in Europa because we have three Europa teams.
They're in Europa League? Did they? Yeah.
Hold on, hold on, hold
I
on,
swear it's
hold on, hold
conference.
on. What are they? No, they're in conference. My apologies. They're in conference. They're in conference league. Because Chelsea won, so yeah, they're in conference league. So yeah, that's my team. Again, just going from the start. Matz Sels as my keeper. Anthony Robinson, yes, he's playing right back. I know he's not a right back. Gabriel Magalhaes, Dan Burn, Milos Kerkez, Ryan Gravenberch, Morgan Rogers, Eberici Eze, Alexander Isak, Mohamed Salah, and Antoine Semenyo, and Fabian Hertzler as my coach.
I just want you
Um,
to know that my team slaps up yours.
that's what you think, bro.
Just because I have a better coach.
Who? Arnie
Fair
Slot?
point. It's a fair point.
Bro, Arnie Slot can't do it without fucking world-class players.
That's crazy. Bro, your
Anyways,
guy has a left back playing inverted right back. You might as well have chosen Arteta, bro, as your coach.
bro, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't watch that. Don't watch that. Don't watch that.
Uh,
All right, sir. Laurent.
All right. I'm gonna go with a 4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, 4-2-3-1.
Cue the Chelsea players getting into this roster.
Oh yeah, there's definitely Chelsea players in this
are you
roster.
serious?
What do you mean? Yeah, what the fuck? Like what
Oh my
you
god.
wait, hold on. You really thought first off, yo, this is a like a last minute like assignment, like handing it in. But you really thought I wasn't gonna put Chelsea players on the squad? Like, what? Are you crazy, bro? Like every Premier League teams have to have on their roster, right? Like a certain number of like academy players, something like that, right? Like for representation,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So come on, man. It's like we're all doing it.
You just finished
Yeah.
admitting that Chelsea, they're not where they need to be right now. They've had an underperforming
No, but
season.
there's some players like well, for one,
Fam, only
Cucurella,
one of your
Cuc
players deserves it.
Cucur
Deserves it.
Cucurella on the left. All right, let me just start.
All right,
Cucurella on
go
the
on.
left. Keeper, yeah, I'm going with Raya. Due
Good man.
to
Good man.
the Golden Glove nomination. Um, my center backs, Van Dijk and Gabriel. So similar to what you said.
Good man. Good
My
man.
right back, Gusto. I don't know. I like him. I like him. I think he has exceptional speed. On his day, he's a very talented player. He has the ability to also push forward. And I remember under Pac, right? We did utilize a bit of that, right? So there's definitely talent there, and I think he just needs to be used the right way. And I know like with injuries and whatnot, right? He hasn't been able to pick up form, but yeah, it's him for me. I think he can defend well as well.
So
Uh,
both guys healthy. Who's your starting right back? Reece James or Gusto?
Gusto. Reece James to me, I don't know, bro. That guy is just looking shaky lately. I feel like he's not there 100%.
Fam, you didn't see that wicked assist to Cucurella against Man United?
Bro,
That's
like it's
crazy,
like,
bro.
like counter that with like the amount of like lost ball possessions, bad plays, right? He's losing the ball in our third, right? Nah. Yeah, I'd pick Gusto over him. Plus Gusto's faster. Gusto is a lot quicker there. Now center defensive mid,
Don't say
Gravenberg.
it. Okay, okay.
What?
Thought you were gonna say Caicedo. Continue.
Yes, and then Caicedo on the other
Oh
side as a
my
holding.
days. Oh.
So Caicedo's the holding, and then Gravenberg is allowed to, on that Arnie slot, yeah, just go in, um, free roam push up. Yeah, that bro, Caicedo, bro, that guy is like four lungs, bro. That's what they say. Four lungs. He's the next N'Golo Kante for us, so I have to put him there. Um, Mind you, like yo, he performs. He has heart. That's what I like about him. You can tell when Chelsea's not like, at least he's like, bro, he's like, he's fierce, bro. Like, hey, like he's putting those challenges in. He gets a yellow, he tells the rest to fuck off, probably in Spanish or whatever, and then he keeps it moving, right? So yeah, I fuck with him. I fuck with him. Now this one, my number 10. I don't know if you guys would be able to predict who I'm having there. It's a wild card, but I will give it to him simply because of the fact that this player, despite the team's performance this year, I just feel like, he's, I don't know, he just stands out, and like it's rough, and he's still putting in the work.
Bruno?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think I had him too.
yeah,
One
yeah.
of my candidates.
That's who I'm putting in there. Left, yeah,
Mind
Eze.
you, so let's clarify for viewers. Bruno
Yeah,
Fernandez, not
yeah,
Guimaraes,
Bruno
right?
Fernandez. Yeah,
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 Bruno
okay.
Fernandez. Yeah, yeah. Left Eze. Right, yeah, Salah. And then up top, yeah, I'm gonna go with Haaland, bro. That whole Isaac, yeah, but I don't know, bro. Haaland to me, especially under a manager like Arnie Slot, bro, you getting like a Terminator point 3. You know what I mean? Like that guy's, yeah, yeah, he's coming for blood, bro. Um, yeah, and I think he was still the third. I think he had like one less goal than Isaac this
He
season.
did, he did. That's what I'm saying. People think
Yeah,
he had a poor season, but for his
yeah,
standards, he's still, pretty good.
right, right, right. Yeah, no. So, yeah, that's my 11, and then my manager, obviously, the guy that I've been raving about since the beginning of the season. So there's no surprise there, Mr. Arnie Slot himself. So, yeah, man, yeah,
It's a
on
good
their four
11.
two three one. Yeah,
Interesting. Okay. Um, interesting. Interesting.
The
Ah,
Champions League one is going to be fun.
I know the Champions League one is going to be fun. Laurent, do you have your Champions League roster?
no, like yeah, I told you, bro. I thought like this was like something completely different. So I don't. I have to like think about this now.
All
But
right. CJ.
I can already tell you who my right winger is. I'll tell you that much.
You're right.
Anyways, we'll let him have his shine, man.
Okay.
I'll go quickly.
Okay. You go. You go.
All right. In goal, okay, Champions League 11. All right, in goal, Donnarumma.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, yeah. What? I think that's an obvious
Y-
candidate.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's an obvious one.
yeah, yeah. I guess for this season, but I feel like he's been shaky before that. Like
No, no, fam. Well, we're talking about this. We're talking about Champions League team of the season 2025. So I
yeah,
think
I
that's fair.
guess. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you're right. Yeah, I think he's answered a lot of his critics this Champions League campaign because
Mhm.
going into it, a lot of people were saying, he's been shaky the last couple of years. He hasn't really fulfilled that potential, especially at PSG. But yeah, this season, specifically in the Champions League, I think he's answered a lot of critics. Like I would say he single-handedly got them through in a couple ties. Not single-handedly. It sounds a little bit harsh on the rest of the team, but certainly against like Arsenal, he was man of the match in at least one or two games. He performed brilliantly against Liverpool. The amount of saves that he made in those ties as well. So I mean, yeah, no, Donnarumma. I think there's a couple honorable mentions, but I don't want to start mentioning keepers in case you guys put them in your 11s. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick Donnarumma for sure. Um, fullbacks, this is going to be pretty easy and quick for me. Both of the PSG fullbacks, left and right back. I think those are two of the best in the world. In Ashraf Hakimi on right back and Nuno Mendes left back. Two currently the best fullbacks in the world at this moment in time. Yeah, two of the best fullbacks in the world. I think point blank. Um, they remind me of old school Brazilian fullbacks. The way they can get up and down the flanks, both of them, and like just skillful on the like. Hakimi's goal against us was a center forward's finish. What the hell is he doing popping up at the edge of the 18, you know, putting it bottom corner like he's prime R9? Like that's your right back. You know what I mean? That's Brazilian samba style football from your fullbacks. That's like Dani Alves over the years. That's like, the Cafus and the Maicons of the world. And then Nuno Mendes on the left, looking like prime Roberto Carlos or Marcelo, like I'm jealous. I've spoke about PSG's team and the jealousy I have with some of their players that we'll continue talking about as I go through the 11s. But yeah, I'm jealous of some of the players that they have, man. And whilst I'm content with our back line at the moment, I love Timber and Lewis Skelly. I think those are our fullbacks for years to come. But yeah, Mendes and Hakimi, I think there's no doubt, that they're two of the best fullbacks in the world, left and right back. And they're brilliant and fundamental to the way PSG play. And Nuno Mendes specifically, he's I don't know how old he is now, but it's like he's really taken because he's been around for the last couple of years, but this year he's really taken off. His energy getting forward. All three of us obviously watched, or I think we caught most of the Nations League final, and I'm just seeing Nuno Mendes' energy in the 120 minutes of extra time. They're everyone's gassed. You would think, we're late in extra time, and Nuno Mendes is still making bursting runs as if like it's the first 5 minutes of the game. Like where he gets that energy from, I don't know, but it's crazy. So yeah, I think those two deserve just a little bit of airtime, a little bit of shout out because I just love them as fullbacks. And yeah, Hakimi and Mendes. Center backs. I think Inter's old head gets in there, and I know they held 5 in the final, but again, before the final, they conceded I think the least amount of goals throughout the tournament, certainly in the group stage. But yeah, so Inter's a Cherby, is it? A Cherby?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And then he also popped up and scored that crucial goal against Barca, right? In the semis, the winner. I think it was in extra time. I think if I don't have that mistaken, we can fact
He
check that.
did.
But
He did.
yeah, yeah, a Cherby at center back. I think he slots in there. Again, my formation is the same, mind you, 4-3-3 sort of thing. So Cherby gets in there. I had to give at least one of the Inter center backs because, like I said, they've been brilliant defensively. Before the final, funny enough. Um, and then beside him, I have to go honestly with another PSG guy, Marquinhos, center back, captain PSG to a Champions League win. And he's, if there's one guy who deserves it, it's him. I've been seeing some of the stories post Champions League final about how long Marquinhos has been there. I think since 2013 or something like that. He's rode it out through the storm. Marquinhos. He's been there with the superstar names of the Ibrahimoviches and the Neymars and Mbappes and so on. And he's been there from those days. And he's rode it out. And he's has the longevity at PSG. So if anyone deserves it, it's him. So he's captained them to a victory, and he slots in at center back for me alongside Cherby there. Um, Midfield, again, more PSG players are just gonna have to get in here simply because how can you overlook them? Vitinha certainly gets in there. This guy's an absolute baller. Um,
Wait,
yeah,
where are you putting him? What position?
probably the holding position, like CDM number 6.
Mm.
Yeah, Vitinha, man, he's made levels. He's stepped up levels too. Again, this is another guy who was at Wolves in the Premier League, and if you think like, what the hell? How did we and in the Premier League, how do we let a player of that caliber go? At least if a player like that's already in the Premier League, one of the big 6 clubs or something could have snapped him up easily. But yeah, he's just taken off to another level since leaving Wolves, and yeah, easily should be in everybody's midfield for team of the season. Personally, I think, but yeah, he's in there for me. Alongside him, I'm definitely gonna go with Pedri as one of the other midfield 3. Um, yeah, Pedri is also, in my opinion, one of the best midfielders in the world at this moment in time. Certainly deserves to get in there for me. Superstar baller. And then to complete the midfield three, this one is a bit controversial, but he did get in the Champions League
Oh
team of
God.
the season. Um, Controversial with a little bit of bias. I have to put in the boy Declan Rice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was beefing with a Barca fan of mine because in UEFA's official Champions League team of the season, Pedri didn't get in it. So this Barca guy, actually, you guys know him. Do you guys remember Cameron from Bethune? Shout out Cameron.
Yeah.
Murdad, Cameron.
Yeah, I know Cameron.
He was giving me a hard time because he's like, yeah, how did Declan Rice get in over Pedri? Because Pedri wasn't in Barca's, sorry, he wasn't in UEFA's official team of the season. How did Declan Rice get in over Pedri? Blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, just nice it, man. Like, just give us our shine. But no, I think yeah, Deckers gets in there. His performances alone against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu and then at home. Obviously, we all know what he did at home. He's been crucial in leading us. Another leader's performance. He's been crucial in leading us to where we are, to where we got to. So I think he certainly deserves it. Yeah, that's my midfield three. And then up front, up front. Um, Damn, you know what? I'm okay. I'm gonna say my left wing and right wing. Left wing, Rafinha. You know, um, the campaign he's had, he's just been instrumental in everything Barca's done this season, and even in the Champions League, scoring clutch goals. On the right wing, the young boy, the talent, the phenomenon, Mr. Lamine Yamal gets in there. How could he not? Again, another guy alongside Rafinha who's pretty much carried Barca all the way through. His performances and his talent, we've touched on in previous episodes, even the three of us, giving this guy, his own segment because of his individual brilliance, especially against Inter Milan. So yeah, man, we can't overlook that guy as well. Center forward has to be, the third of the three Ballon d'Or candidates, Mr. Ousmane Dembele. He definitely has to be leading that line for his performances throughout the campaign. Um, yeah, just another player transformed, brilliant under Enrique, who's managed to transform this guy. Stayed healthy and got the numbers domestically and did it in the Champions League as well. Painfully scoring against us in the semifinal, and yeah, he deserves it. So there you go. And then my manager is Luis Enrique. Yeah, my manager is Luis Enrique. The things that he did with that team just, did wonders this year. Um, Despite losing the superstar names, so you got to give it to him. And yeah, truly, I think it's straightforward. Speaks for itself. My team. And yeah, we're running through it again. Donnarumma in goal. Center backs Marquinhos and Cherby. Left and right back Nuno Mendes and Hakimi. Midfield three: Vitinha, Deckers, and Pedri. Front three: Lamine, Yamal, Rafinha, and Dembele. And coach Luis Enrique.
Luis Enrique. Hmm. Hmm. I think you're gonna be shocked by some of the names that you hear
Oh my
coming out of my
god.
mouth. What do you mean? Oh my God, bro! Just allow it,
Guy just
man.
loves to go against the grain.
Um, I would never even say the first player as my keeper. Um, like I just feel like, yeah. Anyways, all right. My keeper,
Chesney.
Wojciech Szczesny.
How
Wojciech
did I know?
Szczesny. Um, for obvious reasons, man was sitting on the couch. Ter Stegen season ending injury, and this man's like, ah, yeah, I'll come play for Barca, whatever. I'll shoot the shit. Um, yeah, Wojciech Szczesny. My right back is a real right back, I think. I'm not sure. Am I going to get in trouble for saying this? But Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Hmm.
I think he deserves a shout in the Champions League because I avoided his name in the Premier League. Um, my center back combo Pacho from PSG. I think he held it down for them, shutting down some of the world's best strikers. And Bastoni from Inter, for obvious reasons, he's arguably one of the best center backs in the world. And the way that he's playing in that Inter squad with old men running around him. Bastoni's been holding it down. And my formation is 4-3-3. There's really only one left back to say here. Nuno Mendes. Like there isn't really no explanation needed. If you watch the Nations League, if you watch the finals, if you watch the game against Liverpool, against
Ah,
Arsenal, there's really nothing to say. Um, my midfield three, I do also have Declan Rice in there because I think as a number six, or a left eight, he is joined by João Neves. Um, he's his engine room is insane. Um, he constantly runs, and like I got to watch that Nations League game, and he was playing out of position. I believe he was playing right back, if I'm not mistaken. And just the places that he was popping up in and then recovering, he's insane. He's absolutely insane. He reminds me of peak Sergio Busquets. Obviously, a little bit more physical, but Busquets just had an engine on him. And then I do have to get a Barcelona player in, Pedri. I do think that he deserves to be in there. They were on fire. They scored not like at free will. Um, and then my friend three, it's going to be a little bit boring, so I do apologize. I am going to go with Ousmane Dembele, Kvaratskhelia Kvaratskhelia, and Lamine Yamal. I didn't really give them any positions because I feel like they could all interchange. However, I do think that Ousmane Dembele would probably be the center forward of the false nine. Kvaratskhelia would be on the left, and Lamine Yamal on the right. But I do genuinely think that front three would be as fluid as what PSG's front three is. And I do have to unfortunately give a shout out as my manager would be Arne Slot. I think,
What? Now you want to give him his shine? What the hell?
yeah, I think, when he was in Feyenoord, like I didn't expect that. I mean, obviously for Premier League, the reason why I went with an underrated squad is because for the Premier League, like everyone just talks about the big six, and I think sometimes the big six clubs get a lot more hate because some of the other teams like Bournemouth, Brighton, Forest, even like a West Ham, like they don't get their shine, they don't get their moment in it. But in the Champions League, to face the teams that they faced and to finish first in the first ever like league phase, and the teams that they beat, albeit they may not have been as strong at the initial part of the season, but to get to where they got to and to take PSG as far as they did, I think he does deserve a shout out. So for me,
Hmm.
Arne Slot's
Interesting.
my manager. And to run it back, 4-3-3. My goalkeeper, Wojciech Szczesny. I got my right back at Trent Alexander-Arnold. Center back duo at Bastoni and Willian Pacho. Left back, Nuno Mendes. Midfield three of João Neves, Declan Rice, and Pedri. And then my front three of Ousmane Dembele, Kvaratskhelia Kvaratskhelia, and Lamine Yamal.
Coach is Mr. Arne Slot, right?
And coach is Arne Slot.
That's interesting.
no, it's a good. I think it's good.
All right, Laurent.
All right. Well,
This guy's gonna pop up with Nuno Mendes in every position.
you wish. You wish. So my
Manager.
keeper, my keeper is Jan Sommer.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like his name felt like it just goes under the radar. Even he had a stint at Bayern, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I feel like when you look at like also just like there's a bit of historical context here, but like the best keepers in modern times, I think he's up there for me. And then this season as well, right? How he performed with Inter. Yeah, I have to stick him in there. My back line, I'm putting the whole PSG back line. Yeah. So from Mendes to Hakimi and then Patro Marquinhos. Um, I don't know. I feel like in terms of just the chemistry, right? I think it just gels. It just works. They performed well together this season. Um, yeah, in the CL, in their domestic, right? It's a safe back line to go with. Um, So this is 4-2-3-1. So the same formation for the other there. I'm gonna go Vitinha and then Rice as well for the same reasons as CJ. And now in terms of my forwards, so I'll start with my striker.
Wait, sorry, 4-2-3-1. So your midfield two was Vitinha and Rice,
Yes.
and then okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So now we're moving up top there. And
So are you gonna like mention the number 10? Like you're the
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna
Oh,
get
I see,
there,
I
but
see.
I'm just going with my forward
Oh,
first.
I see.
You know, add a bit
Voilà.
add a bit of suspense, as they say.
Okay, okay.
So my forward, I'll go Martinez. Yeah. Um,
Lautaro.
yeah. Lautaro Martinez, clinical
Lautaro
finisher for me.
Martinez. Wow.
Yeah, no, I think he's a clinical. He's able to get the job done. I don't know. I think in terms of even like the runs, his ability on the ball, right? He's able to take players out of position, all of that. He's solid for me. I would have won Harry Kane as well. But I don't know. That guy, I feel like, yeah, I'm starting to fall out of favor with him. Um, on the left, Cavascalia for me. Um, which then means that I have to push the guy I wanted to put on the left, and I'm doing a bit of what Murdad was doing, right? So I'm taking players out of their
Yo,
position.
wait, why are you trying to take my tactical knowledge? I didn't give this. I didn't give permission for this. What is this? What's going on?
Listen, maybe you should hold your training sessions indoors, eh? Like without like
Behind
you know,
closed doors.
yeah, behind closed doors, the drones can't fly over and peep on what you're doing there. But yeah, no. So my number 10 is going to be Désiré Doué. Um,
Mm, interesting.
yeah, yeah. I would actually love to see him just naturally playing that position. I think he has the creativity for it. Um, even in terms of the passing, right? So yeah, that's where I would put him. And that leaves me with the right winger. And at this point, there can only be one, which would have to be the top Ballon d'Or nominee at this stage, Dembele. Yeah,
Ousmane Dembele. So is he gonna win the Ballon d'Or?
He's in with a heavy shout.
yeah. So yeah, no. So Dembele on the right. And I think yeah, that completes it, man. And then oh yeah, the manager Luis Enrique. Uh, I think for more so for the reasons Murdad has pointed to throughout the last few weeks. Um, he seems like a manager truly that he knows how to I feel like reshape or like he can come into a team and rebuild it, right? And knowing which player or what system he wants to use and how to get his players to then adapt to that, right? And in terms of like the mentality of the team, um, I think like what he's done with PSG, no manager comes close. From what I've seen recently, just in terms of like work rate, you could argue Arne Slot's Liverpool, but on the other end, I'd be hesitant to say that for one because the league was a bit too easy this year. So I don't think Liverpool has been tested enough to allow for that to shine. But yeah, no, Enrique for me. Yeah.
So who is the Ballon d'Or winner for you guys?
How far back does it go? Like to deter like do you know what I mean? Is it over the last 12 months? Is it over
Yes.
just the
Since the
last
last
campaign?
since what like the Euros do count.
The Euros count?
Yes. If that's what you're wondering, yes.
It's tough because are you sure this Euros counts though? Because didn't Rodri win the Ballon d'Or off the back of this past Euros? Like as part of the criteria?
Yes.
So then it won't count again for the next one, will it? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. But assuming you are correct, and it's like over the literal last 12 months. Um,
Yeah, wait, how's a competition gonna count twice for two
yeah,
games?
that's what I'm
Um,
saying.
Deserved
Yeah,
international, blah, blah, blah. Here's the breakdown. Shortlist, created jury selection, voting process, point system. Okay, tiebreakers, criteria for judgment. This is decided by 100 journalists, one from each of the FIFA's top 100 ranked nations. It's individual performance, decisiveness, impressive character. And then the second is team performance and achievements. And then third is class and fair play.
class and fair play. That's funny.
Well, there goes all Madrid and Barcelona players.
Yeah, so yeah, it all gonna depend on performances over the past, like, again, if it's the last 12 months and we're
Oh
including Euros
shit,
and
sorry,
stuff.
I do have to say something.
Mm.
Luka Modric is going to AC Milan.
Yeah, I heard
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
Yeah, after the
confirmed.
World Cup. Yeah, Fabrizio Romano.
AC Milan. And you know what? It's funny. We didn't even really talk about De Bruyne to Napoli either. So
I did say it. I did say it when I said Ryan Cherokee to thing. Um,
did you?
yes, I did. Oh, also, wait, hold on. I have a joke. I have a joke for you, CJ. Yo, you remember that Norwegian man's
Sphere
that
Naipan,
guess where he is?
Man City. Yeah, yeah. What a shame. I would have
Yeah,
liked
we
him.
were linked to everyone.
Yeah, linked to everyone signing no one.
Yeah.
Shame. Anyways, I feel like we didn't really touch on the De Bruyne one though. But yeah, that's an interesting one as well. Like two of the best midfielders I think of recent times, like in De Bruyne and Modric going head to head
Hmm.
in the same league. That's gonna be interesting. Damn, Modric is really good for him. Like he didn't settle to, go MLS or Saudi. He's like, nah, man, let me still compete in a
Oh
top
man, he
European
can
league.
play. He can freaking play. And then our target, Nico Williams. Sorry, we're running away from the Ballon d'Or. I'll come back to this. Just last comment. Nico Williams is apparently being targeted by FC Bayern.
I saw that, yeah.
But sorry, you were saying Ballon d'Or. Who do you think is gonna win?
Funny, there was comments the other day about how I think it was Ronaldo might have said something about how the Ballon d'Or winner should be somebody who wins the Champions League, and then Frank Ribery responded. I don't know if you guys heard that, and Frank Ribery responded and put something on his social media saying, "Oh, so really the Ballon d'Or winner has to be someone who won the Champions League." I guess in a bitter, salty way because Ribery's won the Champions League, and there was one year where Ribery was really close to winning it or should have won it, but I think Messi or Ronaldo won it over him. I think like that it was one of that one year it was like that was the top three: Messi, Ronaldo, and Ribery. I think should have won it, but then didn't. He got overlooked by the other two.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think this is in like 2013 or something. Whenever Bayern won the Champions League,
Yes.
but anyways, I don't know if I'm a firm believer in like the Champions League alone means you should win the Ballon d'Or. Like I said, that's why I want to know what the sample size is because sometimes it's eye test, sometimes it's other things. Maybe I also say that from the perspective that Thierry Henry should have won a Ballon d'Or, despite not winning the Champions League with Arsenal. Like, there was the one year he should have won it. I think it was in 2003 or something when he lost out to Pablo Nedved. But
Oh, that was terrible.
yeah, like what a disgrace that was, bro. Like what? Yeah.
Wait, hold on,
Wait,
hold on.
hold on. Don't say disgrace. You're gonna get sued. Disgracia. Disgracia.
I
Wait,
swear that guy won it off of it wasn't because what's it called? Like Henri had better stats, no, that year overall.
Yep.
yeah, and just
But it wasn't. It was. I swear, like what they're trying to say is that it wasn't based off of that. It was like it was more so eye test. Yes. So that's
and that's what I don't understand. Like eye test, Henri blows any player of that time out of the water. I don't know.
that's what a lot
Maybe
because apparently he carried Juve. That guy. What's his
Nedved,
name? Yeah, yeah.
Nedved, yeah.
But and I
For
feel
me,
like you guys are too biased to even chime in on that like that. Because of course, bro. Like you know.
come on, man, Nedved over Henri, bro. Come on.
No.
Yo, they must have seen something, bro. If Henri performed to that level and he didn't, like, they must have seen. You know what I mean? Like, you're
Yeah,
not
of course.
just gonna,
They saw corruption. Is what they saw.
nah, bro. Come on, man.
You don't believe that there's a little bit of corruption in those Ballon d'Or in FIFA? First of
Yeah,
all, in FIFA as a whole.
to a certain extent. But what I'm saying is, if your guy, right, Henri, like you're saying, like that, like he had a wild season, and then for the other guy to win it, that other guy must have done something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not like corruption alone won't get you that award if the other guy was outstanding, Henri.
Mm, I don't know because it's a popularity contest. This thing sometimes there's a little bit of like again politics behind the scenes in Ballon d'Or. We've seen it
Mm.
over the years. There's certain winners who've won who shouldn't have won
Yeah,
based
but
on
usually it's
politics
like
and
I swear those like name me like what year are you referring to specifically when you're saying
I think Lewandowski got snubbed one year.
Yes.
Um, yeah, Lewandowski definitely got snubbed one year when he was with Bayern. Um, yeah, even the Ribery one for a long time. Obviously it was Ronaldo and Messi back and forth, and some people were saying there should have been other valid candidates in there, and a couple of those.
Mhm.
But yeah, for however many years straight, if you remember, it was Ronaldo or Messi. Um, so yeah, I don't know, just a couple of controversial ones. One would say.
Yeah, Luka Modric won it in between there.
Mm. Oh yeah, I think it was the year that Croatia went to the finals,
2018,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but getting off topic a little bit, I
Jesus.
think I think for this year, like I would narrow it down to
Can
like
we
two
just
or three.
appreciate this for a second? Sorry, CJ.
Mm,
2008 is when the Ronaldo Messi started. Ronaldo won it 2008. Messi won it 2009 all the way to 2012. Then Ronaldo won it back to back 13 14. Then Messi won it 15. Ronaldo 16 17. Modric 18. Messi 19. No one was awarded in 2020. 2021 Messi. 22 Benzema. 23 Messi again.
wow,
And then Rodri. Oh my gosh.
crazy, eh?
Jesus. They should name it the Messi Ronaldo Award.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, no. I was
Give your
saying,
winner.
yeah, but again, like last 12 months, if we're including the Euros in that as well, I think there's like three clear candidates. I think it's some of the candidates that everybody's been talking about. To be fair, for me, probably yeah, like a top three would probably be Dembele, Rafinha, and Yamal. I think is a strong top three for as far as Ballon d'Or candidates are concerned. Hard for me to narrow it down to just one, but I think those three would be up there for me.
Okay. So you're gonna give your winner?
Oh, we have to choose a clear favorite.
Yeah, just say it, bro. Stop being so like stop giving a Laura answer. Just say who you want to win. I want to end the pod on like a high note to say, you know what, these guys are predicting, blah blah blah. Don't give me this like just shoot it from the hip. Say it with your chest, bro.
Oh, all right, sorry, coach. I'll do better next week.
Bro, you're gonna be left bench. You're not gonna even make center back.
Oh, damn. This guy's treating me like Zinchenko. It's crazy.
No, I'm even treating you worse than Zinchenko. I'm treating you like Rob Holding.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a little harsh. That's a little harsh. So,
Fair.
um,
Who's winning? Who's winning the ting?
it's probably honestly like okay, who is going to win in my opinion? If then yeah, it's probably going to be Dembele. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Dembele.
Laurent,
Yeah, I'm gonna Dembele.
if if Spain had won the Nations League, I think I could have seen Lamine Yamal winning it. I think Rafinha messed up his chances by one, not obviously Barcelona making the final, and two, the way that they had a piss poor performance against Argentina without Messi, mind you. Um, I think Rafinha is out too, so I unfortunately do have to agree with you, fellas. I think it's going to be Dembele.
Yeah,
Bro,
what do you mean
Jesus.
unfortunately? Like
I know.
you
First of
don't want
all,
him
yeah,
to.
this guy says unfortunately. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like to me
No.
it's one of those where it's like if you deserve to win, like yeah, yeah, yeah. And I agree like that first statement you did, right? Where um had Lamine sorry, had Spain won and then two had Lamine showed up, right? Um in the second in the second half, you could say he would have won it. But that was not that game. So
First of all, you guys think like, bro, am I the only one who is really just pouring cold water on this stupid Nations League tournament? Like, is it really that serious?
I don't know. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I do agree with you. I don't think the Nations League is
Like
anything
what?
big, but I think that it's gonna jade some reporters to be like, oh well, he just won the Nations League and he beat Cristiano Ronaldo. The narrative is there.
Yeah.
You're talking about narratives, right? The narrative right now that's working in Dembele's thing is no Mbappe, no Messi, no Neymar. He came in after being injured for so many years at Barcelona and he helped take this team to the final. And he won. The narrative is there. Yes, the narrative is also there for Lamine Yamal, but
But Dembele's is valid because it's like that's Champions League.
no, I agree with you. I agree with you. But again, Lamar, you mean Lamine Yamal has also done it for his nation, and
Mm.
if he had won the Nations League, albeit it's it's like the FIFA Club World Cup, it's like meh, but still he's performing at the highest stages. That's the point, right? Um, so that's why yeah, I do think it's gonna be Dembele. So yeah, damn, we're an hour 30 in. Um, this was a little bit off the hip. We were just shooting the shit. We'll get back to kind of a little bit more structured next week. Trying to hopefully by next week there'll be a little bit more traction. Depending on how the FIFA Club World Cup games go, maybe we'll touch on a few of the big games that are coming up. But yeah, as always, you know, like, subscribe. Reach out to us on Instagram, on YouTube, if you have any thoughts, ideas. Yes, Laurent,
what?
you were gonna say something. It looked like your face. You were about to say something.
No.
Oh, you're making a Marco Correa face. Ah!
Go
Oh
fuck
shit.
nobody.
Um, but yeah, any closing thoughts from you two?
Um, I mean, there's no predictions this week, obviously. I'm a bit
Yeah,
disappointed in that.
what are we predicting,
Why,
bro?
bro? Fam, there should be no predictions until the new campaign starts. What are we predicting? Like what the weather's looking like tomorrow?
What
I
if
think the
we
Club World Cup, for some games,
Oh
we
my
should
God.
definitely do
Yeah, I'll bring it. Don't
yeah,
worry, Laurent.
yeah.
CJ just doesn't want to have a chance at losing. He just wants to, don't worry.
Fam, winning doesn't get you anything either, apparently. So fuck this whole thing. It doesn't even matter. The fuck?
Just winning for the sake of winning, bro. That's all you need, man. Just say, I won,
The
right?
fuck?
Yeah,
What the
there's a
fuck?
couple good. I mean, the only
Yeah, that's
real
like
good game. I don't even say that's a good game.
The only thing, honestly, the only one worth predicting would be like a final. Like what?
I mean PSG Atletico Madrid plays Sunday.
and I'm pretty
Chel-
sure like the big name players I checked the Chelsea squad that's going. I don't know if you guys checked
you
the
check the
Oh yeah, is
Chelsea
Raheem
squad
Sterling going?
going. Oh my God! No, yo, Raheem Sterling was left home.
yeah, no, he's not going. But
I was kidding. He better not be going.
yeah, no. So yeah, it's like at least for us it's our some big players that are going to be playing, right? So if these are big players playing in that, right? It's still going to be a entertaining competitive game, so I don't see why not.
All right, let us know how it goes, eh?
Yo, tell me who Chelsea is playing first.
I got no clue.
Mm.
I got no
You're
clue.
not serious, man.
I got no clue.
This guy's not serious.
But I do know that I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be tuning in, right? Because that's the important. That's the important part.
How do you never know who your team is playing next? You're not serious.
Why does that even matter if I'm going to be watching the game anyways, bro? It's
What
like
time?
almost like
What
hold on,
time
hold
do
on.
they
What
play? When
what
do
kind of
when do they
stupid
finish?
question is
No,
that?
no, no.
Why
You know
does it
what?
matter?
It's like. You know what it's like. You know what it's like. It's like for some people, it's like, oh yeah, like your birthday's on that day, and then your birthday comes, it's like you don't get the wish. But it's like I know your birthday's on that day. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know, but I'm gonna be there. So I'm gonna be there when it counts, is what I'm saying, and that's all that matters, right?
But what day does Chelsea play?
Uh,
Like this guy just sussed his own argument.
wait,
Like,
how? If think about it this way. Wait, think about it this way. I can find. Wait. Hold on. The funny thing is, you already did this during the conference league, did you not? You already did this whole charade during the conference league, right? Right? There's when who they play next? Oh, Jugaard, and do you know how to pronounce? Oh, right? Oh,
No, but
yeah.
the
No,
teams
no,
that
no.
they're facing. No, but I'm asking, you're saying, but it's a little bit easier when it's like in the season and you know that Conference League is obviously on Thursdays, but you're telling me that you can be watching the game.
Yeah, and I can just literally I have a tip of my finger right here,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
So
If you're a true
are they playing tonight? Are they playing in the next hour? Are they playing in the next hour?
if
The answer
you
is
were a
no.
true fan, you would have been like, "Yo, they're playing on this
Uh,
day."
this guy doesn't wear jerseys. This guy doesn't know when his team is
Yo,
playing, who
CJ,
his team is
let me
playing.
ask you, do you know when Arsenal's summer preseason tournament is?
Yeah, in July.
Thank you.
yeah, well that
Like,
listen, do you when's the month for summer? Yeah, July. Maybe like you know what I mean? Like such a generic answer, but it's like,
fam,
oh wow, great, CJ, you know? Like yeah.
first of all, yeah, but that was not even a great example either, because that's preseason. Like, no one's really paying attention to preseason
Yes,
like
but
that. But
this
No,
is
no,
an
if you're a
actual
true fan,
tournament.
you gotta pay attention, right?
yeah, but for Conference League and Club World Cup, like when your campaign is actually on and it means something, surely you should
Yes.
know when your team is
Oh, so
playing.
now suddenly it means something, eh? I like it. Yo, you guys just like to switch it around, bro.
What do you mean? I told you
At
that
the
there's gonna
beginning
be
of the podcast, it was
a...
like, oh, Club World Cup doesn't mean anything, no?
Yeah, but to you it means something. So why do you not know when your team is playing and who your team is playing? You just finished using a birthday
It
analogy of,
mean
oh, I
it
don't know
means
when your birthday is, but I'm gonna be there.
it
Clearly, you're
means
not gonna be there.
it means
Clearly, you're not gonna be there. You don't
wait,
even know when your team is playing
how do you know I'm not gonna be there?
because
How
you
do
You
don't
you
don't
even
know
even
know
know
when your
what
team is
fucking
playing.
day it is.
wait. So wait, are they playing in the next 5 minutes?
For
Oh,
all honestly, you
Oh
might
wait,
not even know, man.
are they
They could
playing
have
in the
played.
next
They could have played
are
already.
they
You'll have no idea.
bro,
no
CJ, Laurent
are they
lives
playing in the
on
next five
island time.
minutes?
He shows up after the party's done, and everyone's like,
Wait, are they playing in the next 5 minutes? You guys know it's not. You guys know they're not. So it's like,
"CJ,
all
the
right,
You know
game's
that.
in
You know that
Miami.
for a
I'll
Of
check.
fact.
course, they're not playing in the next five
All
minutes."
right, bless. So I have 5 minutes to then check who they're. You know what I mean? So I'm still gonna know. By the time they play, by the time that whistle blows, I'm gonna know,
Murda, it's almost
and
like
that's
we're
all that
helping him
matters.
out. Like we've given him the time to now check to see, oh shit, let me get my ducks in a row. I need to check to see when my team plays. Because for all you know, they could have been playing tomorrow and you wouldn't have no idea.
No, because usually what happens every morning, I check my streaming site, and then I can see what games are playing on that day. So it's like I would know exactly.
So you check to see what
All right.
general teams are playing as opposed to your own
Oh
team.
my
No, just like what
goodness.
the important games. So it's gonna show up as like important games. So it's
I'll
like
tell you
I
this
know.
much: me and Murdad know when Arsenal is playing,
Are blessed
like
because yo, you guys are yo.
ahead of time,
So
and who they're playing.
yeah. So when it comes to the birthday analogies, you guys are the guys that put it in their calendar. Oh yeah, it's it's Sammy's birthday on August 18. Like, let me just click that in my calendar. You know, it's like a year in advance. And all right, oh, the 18 shows up. Okay, bless, good for you. You know, you guys are structured in that way. But me, it's like I'm gonna be there either way. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be there either way, and that's all that
can you just answer
counts.
me? Can you just answer me a question? Can you just
What?
answer me a question? And be
What?
honest. Don't give me some bullshit
Yeah,
response.
what I hate is, yo, we've been through all of the like I've gone through like how many trials have I gone? Like I'm on the stand by myself on this podcast, and I've done this like how many times?
I do actually have a Chelsea fan that I'll bring on.
Yeah, but like how many times you guys want to? Yeah, let me
Okay,
just
but
ask you
answer
this
this,
question.
answer
Oh
this.
my gosh, here we go.
Fam.
Why have you not worn a Chelsea kit?
Wow, this is like yo legit. All right, hold on. How many times have I answered this?
Yeah.
This is insane,
They
bro. Like
even won a
that's
trophy this year, and you still haven't worn a
yo. This is
jersey.
this is actually insane. Like how many times have I answered this question on this podcast?
So tell us again, enlighten me. It's been a we're on
No,
episode
I think like
27.
honestly, like I'm losing track at this point. It's probably more times than I have fingers.
Fam, there's certain questions I feel like if we'd ask you, you would lose your credibility as a Chelsea fan, fam. Like
Wait,
I'm
wait.
not. Are you
No,
ready?
no.
Are you ready?
Man
Are you ready?
said, "I know I'll show up to your birthday because it's not in the next 5 minutes."
Like, what kind of foolish response is that, bro? What the fuck?
Yo,
Obviously,
Bro,
hold
stop.
on.
wait, hold on. Like, no, no, but like seriously, why would like when you actually think about it, right? Like, why would I need to know, right? Like, we already
My
like I know
birthday is?
we no, no, no. We're talking about the tournament, like the Club World Cup, right? Right? We know the tournament doesn't start to maybe like next weekend, or sorry, next week, sorry, right? That like there's still time to figure out. So it's like, why is that even important? Is what I'm trying to understand.
That would
To
make
know
sense if you're consistent all the way through. But fam, we
consistent with
during
what?
in the
'Cause-
middle of the season, we've been through the same week where your team is playing on a Thursday in the conference league. It'll
And
be
did I not
Tuesday,
watch?
and your
And then
team
I not
plays on
watch those
Thursday,
games?
and
And
you
then I
don't
not
know who your team is
and
playing.
that did I not watch those games? That's my point. It's the fact is that I was still there.
So you
Like
weren't, but you weren't.
but I was
Okay,
still there. Like I don't understand. Like if the guy shows up, right? Like the guy still showed up. So
but
it's like I don't understand. Like
you're not trying to be
it'd
prepared
be
for your
different.
opposition ahead of time, though.
No, those guys have to do the preparation. Those guys, like those are the guys that like because they're actually on the field. I just got to
Mm.
show up and support, and that's it.
Yeah, but
So
you're
you
gonna
never.
show up on
Like
time? Are
what?
you gonna show up like island time? When are you gonna show up?
No, no, no. Actually, like I watched the games from the kickoff, right? Unlike CJ, who shows up like probably like halfway through, right? Like halfway through the finals. Well, no, no, I'm actually there before
Wait, what are you
kickoff
talking about? When have I done that
with
for Arsenal?
no, no, I'm not talking about like Arsenal. I'm just talking like with the Nations League's final. So it's
Ah,
like
okay. So you
yeah,
lose
yeah.
your credibility again there, because why are we
No,
talking about the Nations League?
no,
Is
no.
Arsenal is Arsenal
There's no
playing? No, they're not. So
there's
why do
no
I care?
there's no credibility lost. But what I'm trying to say, right, is that like if I'm like interested in a game or seeing it, right, I'm gonna be there from when the kickoff starts. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's like, yo, you guys
What's the
don't
excuse
worry. Don't worry. Yeah, what's the excuse for what?
for not wearing a jersey?
Yeah, listen. At this point, I'm legit gonna plead the fifth because I've answered this question like how many times? We've already gone through this, and it got to a point where you guys, I think, asked it the fifth time, and we're like, all right, is this enough? And you guys were like, yeah, you wouldn't ask it again. So it's like the fact that you guys are asking again, it's like, yo, like, you
By
know,
the way, the Club World Cup doesn't start next week. It starts on Saturday. You're welcome again. You almost might have missed your team play.
okay, bless Saturday. Wow, like how many hours is that from now?
They don't play on
No, no,
Saturday, in fact.
yeah, but how many hours is that from now? Even if they did, how many hours is that from now?
Anyways,
All right, bless. Yeah, he suddenly goes quiet, right? Because he knows.
Is that a serious question?
It
Like,
is. It is a serious question. Because if it's what 48 hours, okay, then bro, I have information at the tip of my finger right here. I can just pull up. Like by the time I go to bed, it's like I can know exactly what all the teams are gonna play, what days, and that's it. And I know that from now. So it's like I don't
you'll
get.
you'll wake up Saturday morning and be like, oh fuck, shit, Chelsea plays today. Like scrambling last minute to get your laptop out. The battery's about to die on the laptop. Shit, I gotta go get breakfast. Like, meanwhile, Chelsea's about to kick off in 5 minutes. But then you
I
realize you
mean,
just
better
made it on time.
than not watching your team play if they were to play in the conference league. Because yeah, I heard that one. If
Yeah,
my team was in the conference league, I definitely wouldn't watch. Yeah, I've heard that coming from true fans. Yeah.
yeah.
True
Thankfully, our
fans
team.
that wear
Thankfully, our team
jerseys.
doesn't play in the conference league. Thankfully.
Yeah, no, and I hope they don't because shit, bro, it'd be sad to see that you're not even willing to support your teams through hard times, you
I
know?
promise you, we'll know when they play, though. I'll tell you that much.
And I
Like I
promise
said,
you
we
will
know
both
when our
wear a
team plays
jersey.
a good
I'm
week
sure.
ahead of time.
Okay, yeah. See, when Sammy's birthday is, but you don't show up on the
I don't
day
know who
of.
Sammy
Yeah,
is, fam. I'm talking about Arsenal. I don't know who
no, no,
Sammy
no.
is.
But I'm just saying in general, right? Like you know who that person is, but you don't show up for the birthday. Like, so it's like
Who said that?
no,
Fam,
because
who
you
is
said
who is
you
Sammy,
said
fam?
no, no. I'm just using like I'm like it could be like Anton. It could be like like I'm just saying. You know when that person's birthday is. Yeah, that's good, but you don't show up, right? So it's like you're gonna know when Arsenal plays for the conference league, but you're not gonna be there to watch the games. Like like it's like way the two scenarios. It's like,
Fam,
bro, you're not.
have you watched every single Chelsea game in your life? No, you haven't. I probably know more about Chelsea than you do. When is the last time Chelsea won the league?
Oh my
When is the last two
gosh.
times Chelsea won the league? You
Listen,
don't know.
at this point, like, listen, if this is what we're gonna do, right? Like, because all this is it's becoming like a witch hunt, right? And I didn't sign up to be on a podcast to be hunted down. Oh, you know this, you know that, because this is what this is becoming.
We just want to
Like,
know if you truly support your squad, fam. That's
no,
it.
no, but truly, this is what this is becoming, right? It's
But,
becoming.
but why? But my question is, why are you getting defensive when we're asking a question?
It's not the fact that I'm being defensive. It's the fact that you guys are willingly putting me on trial. But for what? What goals are you guys trying to?
I don't recall there being a judge, jury, and we're giving you a verdict. We're just asking a question, bro.
No, no. But these questions are pretty like I don't know what would the term for that be, but like you're trying to put someone on the stand, is
Bro,
right?
I don't know what was in that oatmeal that you had, but but it's it's got you all fired up and all fucked up in some weird ways, bro. I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking you, like, why no jersey?
Yeah, but the thing is, we've been through this. How many times? How many times have we been through this? Is what I'm saying.
Wait, what was your
And
actual answer for that?
And again, like legit, like at this point, all I'm gonna say is just go back and rewatch the podcast episodes. That is my answer. Go back and rewatch the podcast episodes. That is my answer at
oh,
this point.
I'm cramping.
Wait, but if Murdad doesn't know and I don't know, then
Yeah,
maybe you have never answered the question properly.
I
Because
did.
two of us
I
are here
did.
But
saying
you
I
answer the
did.
question.
No, no, no. I did. But I'm telling you right now, you can go back if you sift through the podcast episodes, right? The
CJ,
earlier ones.
his answer is, I don't need to wear a jersey to prove that I'm a fan.
Oh no, that was my answer. Like I think the first or second time around, and then you guys kept asking, right? Right? And then there was a point like, no, no, seriously, seriously, like, yeah, Laurent, like no banter, right? Like, yeah, why don't, right? And then I answered it then, and then
But what
again,
was your
and then
answer then?
again, but again, and I'm telling you, right? Like, go back and check the podcast
Yo,
episodes, right?
what's
If you
that song by Fetty Wap? I want to see you again, baby.
What?
Hold on, I gotta play it. I don't know if it's gonna come through the mic, but it's a Fetty Wap song. Again, it's called Again. All I can imagine every time fucking Laurent says, "Oh, can you guys hear it?"
no,
Hold on, I gotta play this right now. Hold on, this is literally what I'm thinking about. Um, CJ, any last words before I play the song as our
Oh, no last words for me, people. We're here for information and
jeez,
entertainment. The banter is
they're done with the cross examination or whatever that is, eh? Like, no further questions, Your Honor.
yeah, no
Mm,
further questions. We're trying to help Laurent be the best possible fan he can be. So we're
that's
just trying to better
crazy.
we're trying to better everybody out here.
Word.
It
how?
would do well to prepare well ahead of time. So
Word.
preparation
At
is
this point,
key.
man, you know what? I would love to see Arsenal in the Conference League just to see how you guys would move on. Move on about it.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I don't think we're gonna be there anytime
You
soon.
never know. You never know. You guys had some rough times, eh? And you never know.
Clip it, bro. We're not playing in the conference league anytime soon. And I'm talking about in the next 12 to 24 months. So good luck to you for that one.
Wait, 12 to
Please.
24 months?
Yeah, the next year or
Yeah,
two.
yeah, obviously, but yeah, like 5 years, 10 years. Shit,
Maybe.
5 to 10 years is gonna be a different division and different league and different whatever. So I guess that's it.
Did you play the
Yeah.
song or not?
Bro, it's not letting me share. But anyways,
Uh,
for all the listeners, it's called Again by Fetty Wap. And anytime that Laurent says, I'm not gonna do it again, I'm not gonna explain it again, blah blah blah, bro. Just that's a song that keeps going in my mind.
all right. I'll make sure to add play that song when that question gets asked again.
All right. Well, on that bombshell, sorry this was a little bit longer episode. We're almost at 2 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah. We just have to, ask you the same question again and again and again.
Yeah, word. How many times, man? How many times?
Oh
Mm-mm.
shit! I think I'm gonna leave a segment. How many times can we ask Laurent why he's not wearing a Chelsea kit?
Mm-mm.
Yo.
That's wild.
Oh fuck! Um, on that messy ending. See you guys next week.
Adios.
Hey, don't steal my line. Wear Chelsea kit first.
What, adios? Bro,
Yes.
you never ever said
Bro,
adios.
I always say adios.
Yeah, when? When have you said adios?
Go
Go back
back
to the
in.
park.
All right, bless. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
Adios.